Hey guys, my name is Max, and today we're going to be ranking every single clone trooper, every single LEGO clone trooper that I think there is. So we're just going to get right into this. The best tier is perfect, then there's amazing right below it, then great, then good, then okay, then bad, and then horrible. So this is going to be my direct thoughts toward how good I think these guys are. So it looks like we're going to be starting with the Shock Trooper right here, the 2005 Shock Trooper. He's good. I am not a big fan of these 2005 guys. They're not really my favorite. It looks like there's another Shock Trooper right here, so we're just going to put these guys on the same list. They got different waist colors, but that's not enough to bring any of them in different areas. They're on par with each other. Next we have this guy, which I think has green designs. He's okay. He's not my favorite, but, you know, he's there. Then we have this Clone Pilot. So this is from the Clone Wars, I think. He's the Clone Wars guy. He's good. I don't have anything negative toward him. He's just good. Next we have more 2005 troopers. Every time we see one of these guys, I'm just gonna skim through them and how I like them. Got Rex. This is Phase 1 Rex with a visor instead of an antenna. I like him. He's nice. He's probably one of my favorites. He's pretty dripped out. Got Phase 1 Commander Cody with his drip. Then we have all these Phase 1 troopers from the Clone Wars style. These three, I don't even know what's different about them, except these two have antennas and this one doesn't. So these three, they're on par. This is like a shock trooper with drip. Then we have more of these Phase 1 troopers with drip. This guy has a jetpack. There's really nothing different about these guys. These guys are all just regular troopers, but with different sort of drip. So we're just going to put them all there. Phase 1 gunner. I like this guy. I think he's good. I think he's great. He's not amazing, not necessarily amazing, but he is there. Then we have the Clone Wars style Commando. Not a fan of that helmet. He just goes in okay. 2005 Trooper with wings. I'm just going to skim through all the ones that I don't think are that interesting. So this guy, he's bad. I really don't like how they use the X-Wing pilot for him. This guy, he's just regular, I think. So he's going to go there. Then we have this guy, more 2005 Troopers I'm not interested in. This guy's horrible. He looks so bad to me. I don't know what it is. He's so bad. Like, I would rather have the one from 2005, which is right above it, than this one. It's just so bad. Anyways, another Clone Commando with white on him. He's not that bad. I'm not a big fan of the designs, though. Or the helmet, for that matter. Then we have this trooper, who I'm just not a fan of the helmet. He's about the same as the other troopers, except he has... This helmet I'm just not a big fan of, so in general, he's just going to go here. Next we have this guy, who is a 2005 trooper. He's okay. He's not my favorite, but he's there. Then we have this 2005 trooper, who goes here. This Clone Wars trooper, I'm not sure what it is about him that's different, but it looks like maybe a different Legion or something. Anyways, next we're into troopers that we can actually spend a little minute talking about. So, we're going to start with the Bomb Squad trooper from the Clone Wars. He's great, I think. He's definitely better than the plain Phase 1 troopers. Not many people like him, which I don't really understand, because he looks pretty nice. I think the base for his helmet might have been orange instead of white, because it would have been easier to print, but for me, I think he's pretty nice. Next we have another Phase 1 Captain Rex. This one has an antenna instead of a visor. I think he's pretty nice. Definitely not much different from the other one, but I like the antenna more than the visor, I'll admit that. Then we have another one with this weird helmet. I really don't like this helmet. I just don't like it. All it is this different is that it's black instead of white, which that itself isn't enough to push it up to good, but it's still a little bit better, I think. Next we have this Phase 1 Wolfpack Trooper with some drip. He doesn't have a pauldron, but still, he's pretty drippy. Then we have the Phase 1 Wolfpack Trooper without the drip, who is, he's great. He's with the other troopers, those other troopers. Then we have this one, who is he's so bad. I really hate this one. I really don't like him. Like, That helmet design is just horrible. It's just like the worst helmet I've ever seen, I think. Next we have the 2002 Phase 1 Trooper. Not my favorite, but he does what he has to do. He's okay. Then we have the Phase 1 Commander Cody with his visor. This is pretty nice. It's amazing, I think. He goes into the amazing section with the other Commander Cody. Of course, he doesn't have the pauldron or the waist cape, but I think that wasn't really going to push him up any further. So I think he's just there. He's nice. Next we have the ARC Trooper, which is very good. I really like him. He goes up here for sure. He's got very nice like stuff there. It definitely makes him a lot better than the others for his pauldron, for his actual cloth pauldron and cloth waist cape. It makes him look a lot better. He's got his cool antenna, and they made an entirely new mold for him for his helmet, which was very nice, because, you know, the ARC Trooper is kind of a mix between Phase 1 and Phase 2 helmets, because they got that little ventilator thing at the bottom, but then they also have the Phase 1 fin. I think this is a very good trooper. He's very nice. Anyways, next we have this guy, who, he's exactly the same as this guy down here, except he has red arms, so not my favorite. We have this guy, who's another Phase 1 trooper. Then we're getting into the sort of realistic style troopers, which I'm just gonna skim through them, because I like them all, but they're all just relatively the same. So here's the green one right here. I think they're all great. This guy I think he's really bad. I really hate his helmet design. Then we're moving into the 2014 style of troopers. We have this guy who's the plain 2014 trooper. I think he's definitely way better than the Clone Wars trooper, but honestly, he's really plain. There's not really much that's special about him. Then we have the original 501st Trooper, which came in the 501st, I think the AT-ST Walker, but I'm not entirely sure what it's called. All these ATs and TEs and AT-ATs. It's a little crazy. I think he's an amazing trooper. He definitely does what he needs to do. I don't necessarily think he's better than the new trooper, than the new 501st Trooper, but he definitely is. He's definitely earned his spot. He's a very, very nice trooper. Anyways, then we have Phase 2 Captain Rex, which I think he's just a very awesome trooper. He's perfect in my eyes. He's just like a very good trooper. I don't think anything about him would bring him down in any way. His helmet's awesome, his pauldron's awesome, his waistcoat's awesome, his prints are awesome, his arms are awesome, just everything about him is awesome. Anyways, then we have the original 212 Trooper, which is sort of like the original 501st Trooper, except he's got some different designs. So yeah, he's there. Next we have this Clone Trooper with a Stormtrooper helmet. I don't really like it when the clones have Stormtrooper helmets. Of course, they only did this like once or twice, but I think it was a very bad decision. They shouldn't have done it. They should not have done it, I don't think. So, next up we have the Phase 1 Pilot. It's very nice. I think it's about the same as these guys. I think it's the 2014 style. Very nice. I like it. Next we have another Commander, which I think they're all great. I'm putting them all up here. Two Commanders. We got the blue one and the red one. We're just going to look for the rest of the colored clone Commanders in this list, because I think they're all about the same rating for me. They're the same rank for me. So I'm looking through only one more here, and it's the blue one, but with light printing, so all about the same for me. Next, we have another Stormtrooper helmet guy, which I already said my feelings on the Stormtrooper helmets for the Clone Troopers. It's just not good, in my opinion. So next we have the Kashyyyk Troopers and the Geonosian Troopers, and while I like their designs, they're not very good for clone army building. Like, they're not a trooper you'd have a million of. So I think these guys are all probably in the same boat for me, except for the one with this different helmet. He's just not good, in my opinion. Then we have the newer 212 Trooper, which he isn't the new one, but he's newer than the one that's already on the list. I think he's 2014, 2015. He's amazing. He's definitely better than that trooper. But he definitely goes high up there. This guy, in my opinion, is the best 212 Trooper there is. There's not going to be a better one. Of course, there is the 2021, I think the 2020 style Trooper, 2022, I think, or just 2021. I really don't like that one. It's just so bad. I'll be ranking that one the last, because you already know where he's going to go at this point. Next we have the 212th Airborne Trooper, which has his own custom helmet. I think he's awesome. He's really amazing. I just love this guy. He's probably one of my favorite. He's got that waist cape, which is way better than I think the other 212th, or sorry, I think it's way better than the other 187th troopers. Sorry, not 187th, the other airborne troopers. Keep getting the names wrong. Anyway, next we have this guy. He's amazing, I think. He's a great trooper. I love his Phase 1 helmet. Or sorry, his Phase 2 helmet. He's just really nice, in my opinion. I like the arm most of all. Then we have this guy who also goes in here. I really don't like them using that X-Wing pilot helmet for clone troopers. It just looks horrible. Next we have this guy who I think is Commander Gree or something, but I just don't know his name. He's amazing. I really like his design. I think he's some sort of Geonosis or Kashyyyk trooper, but like a commander or something. I think he's amazing. He's probably someone, he's not a person you'd be getting an army of, right? He's just a commander, so you'd be getting like maybe one or two of him. Next we have another 2005 trooper, which is the Commander Cody. He doesn't come with a visor, which is a little bit annoying, but this is 2005 we're talking about. Of course he's not going to have a visor, so I think he's great though. Next we have the Shock Trooper, which I think is just perfect. I love Shock Troopers, I love their designs. They're just pretty much awesome. While we're talking about Shock Troopers, I think I'll probably move the 187th Trooper up into Amazing, because he definitely has the same designs, except he doesn't have those colored arms, which would have made him a lot better. He's not perfect, he's just amazing. Next we have a Phase 2 Wolfpack Trooper, another amazing, in my opinion. I love all the Phase 2 Troopers the same. This guy, I love all the Phase 2 Troopers, not necessarily all the same. The Wolfpack Trooper, I'm not a big fan of, though. Next we have the plain Phase 2 Trooper, which is there. I think the last time, LEGO has a problem. Like, they never ever do this. They never ever have another one of these guys. Like, the last time they made one was in 2015, 2014, 2015, and they haven't made one since. I don't know if they hate to make this kind of trooper. I think they just love to make the Legions more for some reason. Like, the Legions probably sell more than this guy, but that's no reason to not maybe have a set with at least one of these guys in there, so that you could have a way to get him. So accessibility, he's not very good, but you know, from his designs are very nice. I wish he was more accessible, obviously. So he's an amazing trooper. Next, we got another one of these TIE Fighter, or sorry, no, these like X-Wing pilot helmets on clone troopers, which I absolutely hate. They're just not cool. I don't like them. Of course, they're not as bad as some of the others on this list, but they're just not my favorite. Just got another pilot. Not very notable. He's there. Then we got two new commandos, but with this time leg printing and some better torso designs. They're about the same as these guys, just with different designs, so not really much about them. Next we have the Clone Gunner, Phase 2 Clone Gunner, which is perfect in my opinion. It's probably one of my favorite Phase 2 clones there is. It's just awesome. One of my favorites. Next we have another 2014 style Phase 1 Trooper. This one has leg printing this time, so not much of a difference, but definitely better, an improvement. Then we have a 501st Jet Trooper, which I didn't know existed until the Battle Pack came out. I think it's awesome. Of course, his legs are inaccurate, but that doesn't really matter to me. He's pretty nice. I like having at least a few of him in my army. He's very good. Next, we have the new 501st Trooper, which is amazing. He's probably better than the old one. Of course, I don't really like how he has white arms instead of blue arms, but that's very fixable. Just buy some off of Bricklink or something, then you can fix it. But you are going to have a lot of these, so you're going to have to be buying a lot of arms off Bricklink if you want them all blue. So he is a pretty nice trooper. There is definitely qualities from the old one that this one doesn't have, but overall, he's a better trooper. Next, we have the 322nd or 332nd. I honestly don't know what this guy is, or what the Legion name is, but I know he's the Ahsoka Tano trooper, so he's not my favorite, so he's just going to go in great. Next, we have this guy, who I think is a pilot, but he's got an inaccurate helmet. He's just good in my opinion. He's not my favorite. Next, we have another 212th Airborne Trooper. This guy has a waist cape. I don't think he's as good as the other one. He does have waist printing, which is pretty rare for clone troopers. But he doesn't have that orange arm, which makes him not as good in my opinion. Next, we have all these Bad Batch troopers, which I never even watched the Bad Batch, so they're just kind of there. Whoops, screwing around with the recording. They're just there. I never really watched the Bad Batch, so I'm just going to put them in there. And now we're down to our last 5. So there's definitely a couple controversial figures on here, but these two, we got a little breath of fresh air here. So we have the 2022 style Phase 1 Trooper, which is amazing, way better than the others. Then we have the 187th Airborne, which has a bad waist cape. He has a printed waist cape, which isn't as good as the others. So he's definitely going to be lower, but he is still pretty good. Next we have Phase 2 Commander Cody. He's perfect. Of course he has the bad helmet holes, but the visor definitely hides those perfectly, so it doesn't really matter. But next we have the 2 singular worst clone troopers on this list, which is the new Phase 2 212 Trooper and the new Phase 2 Gunner. Of course, I love the Phase 2 Gunner that's up here. He's perfect, absolutely perfect in every way. But then the one down here is just horrendous. This horrible designs. Of course, I love his torso and his legs. They're pretty good. But then the rest of him is just horrible. Just the worst ever, which is his helmet. I absolutely hate his helmet with a fiery passion. Of course, the last helmet, it wasn't anything special, but it was great. It was so much better than this one. Then we have the 212th Trooper, which any other trooper on this list is better than. Even the bad helmet holes on the Phase 2 Gunner, the one with the bad helmet holes, that one's even better than the 212 Trooper. The 212 Trooper is the worst one. He's so bad. Anyway, I could go on and on all night, but I think I'm just going to end this video here. It is going to be quite a long video, definitely my longest, but I am always looking for ways to improve, so if you see any way that I can make my videos better, I would definitely love to see some feedback in the comments. I'm always looking to improve, so if you see any kind of flaws that you would like to see me change, then please leave your feedback in the comments down below. So I will see you later. Bye.